Hello, everybody. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Will.
And this is So I'm Watching Daredevil. Born Again. My bad. I keep forgetting. Season 1, Episode 5 and 6, With Interest and Excessive Force.
It might as well have been episodes 1 and 2 as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. I was talking about this with Holly and Trevor this morning.
Yeah.
Because Holly's not watching, but she doesn't really care about spoilers.
Mhm.
And Trevor was already caught up. On the surface, I really like the use of Khan pop-in.
Mm-hmm.
On the surface, I'm like, oh, fun. Miss Marvel and the Marvels have been like a couple of my favorite things the last couple years.
Yeah. Why did they not do the dinner?
Why did we not see the dinner?
Mm-hmm.
Why now? Why in this?
That doesn't bother me.
Why? Are we going to see Kamala?
I doubt it. I was fine with it.
Ugh, I don't know.
No, I was fine with it.
I do love a heist, though. So the heist part was great.
That episode was so good. Just because it felt like the first few episodes of Daredevil, like we were talking about, have been like working towards an inevitability for both of the characters.
Yeah.
And like this one, episode 5 was very specifically just Matt getting past that line.
Mm-hmm.
It's more in, he says the whole fuck it line in the episode 6. I just want to say second episode.
Yeah.
It did not make irrelevant the first 4 episodes, but it really felt like this. It's like if you started with Matt walking into the bank and episode 1 of this, it would have made total sense to me.
I agree completely.
But yeah, it was really nice it's a cool bottle episode.
Yeah.
For one, it's a good heist. There's a lot of like, it's a little tropey. It's like exactly what you'd expect from a heist thing, but it's executed well.
Well, also, so it's working into the thing that I'm having the most trouble following, which is all the mob stuff that I don't care about.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, so apparently these Irish guys are with Luca, the one in the tracksuit, who now owes money as restitution for murdering the other people, but they don't have $1.8 million.
Yeah.
So they're having to heist this bank, and we think it's just money at first, but then it's like they're going into the place that's like the vault that's only safety deposit boxes, and then it turns out it's just like one diamond.
One big orange diamond.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a mythical amulet.
No, it just looks like a diamond. Yeah.
It does just look like a diamond.
It just, so, which is, again, fine, but also like, does Vanessa not know enough about like the relative capital of each of these mob people to know who is able to like pay, like if they don't have $1.8 million, or are they just trying not to spend their own money and do something? But also, how are you going to move this diamond? It's clearly,
they probably have someone to
fancy and one of a kind.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
They must have someone. They're criminal enterprise,
of course, yes.
Especially in the circles that Vanessa runs in.
Yeah, and so then the other thing is that if they end up not getting the diamond, then none of them, I guess they kind of get away, but it's like not really, because Matt totally beats up the one guy super hard in the street.
That guy, he fought back harder than I expected him to, though. I mean, he was a tall, like kind of big guy, but they didn't play him as like some sort of strong man or anything.
I mean, Matt doesn't have like super strength. He's just good at fighting.
Yeah, but I don't know, maybe it's meant to show in both of his big fights in these like couple episodes. Maybe it's just to show that he's, maybe a little rusty.
Sure.
Just getting back into it or whatever. They didn't like play it for that, but I don't know if you heard me from up front of the house, but I went ha out loud when he just like fully like onto that guy's knee. And they just show it. Yeah. I was like, cool.
It's intense. So again, but now the issue is that like, in addition to not getting the diamond and like still being like around, now they owe $2.8 million.
Well, sure. Yeah.
So I'm like, what did you...
I don't think the dollar value means anything even to Kingpin. I think he put it out there just to see, be like, here's what you have to do now. And
because that's the other thing too, is like now he's involved in this again.
Yeah. He wants to be, though.
I know, then stop being the mayor. Like, it's killing me. Because that goes into the stuff in the second episode where like he can't, people like won't let him be what he wants to be. So like he's not getting anything he wants from the rich people, and he can't cut through the red tape fast enough to get what he wants done with the political people. And it's obviously like a lot more photo ops, and like his Sheila is like, well, you have to go do this, and then you've got the charity event for this, and then this, and then that. And I think he just wants to just be like signing papers and writing checks and like telling people to go do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's just like not how it works. And it gets very frustrating to like.
I think that's part of why he decided to go beat the shit out of Adam.
Yeah. Okay. I need to talk about Adam for a minute because it is Lou Taylor Pucci.
Oh, is it?
It is, which I had not realized.
I was like, there's no way it's him, so I'm not even going to bother looking it up.
I looked it up because I was like, who even is this? And I was like, wouldn't it be funny if it is?
Yeah.
Because he stays getting trapped in secret cages because he is in the first season of You, and Joe traps him in the cage.
The boyfriend.
The boyfriend, yeah. And he feeds him peanut oil or something, like a latte with peanut oil to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that is hilarious. Also, I love Vanessa and I think she's so beautiful, but I love the idea that she's pulling, well, not because his hair is all, although who knows how long he's been down there.
A while, I'd assume.
So anyway, his hair is all scraggly and so apparently it's his hands and whatever.
Dick fingers.
I mean, but the thing about the whole Adam thing that like is annoying to me is that I, in general, am having a really hard time. Like, Fisk's motivations to me are so hazy across the board. Like, at any given moment, I don't know why he's doing what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, I kind of get why he's got him down there. It's because Vanessa had an affair with him. But I'm like, you were in prison and or recovering from a bullet to the brain. She sought her comfort with an artist, like whatever. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, okay, you're keeping him down there. But then he's like, Vanessa wants me to let you go. And he's like, oh, thank God. Thank you so much. And he's like,
the soft parts of women.
And he's like, but I want you to fight me with an axe so that I can kill you with my bare hands while you have an axe.
He doesn't quite kill him though, right?
I think he's dead. If he's not dead, he is no longer of use to this world.
Yeah.
He's pretty dead. I think he was twitching at the end, but
sure.
I don't think he is long for the world.
Sure.
Unless it was like just beat him to the brink of death and then let him go. But what the fuck? And again, it's like so at odds with what he keeps saying he wants to do for the city and stuff. And to bring that as well, because he gets sort of shot down at this rich person party, which you mentioned had one of Haley Steinfeld's mom's boyfriend from Hawkeye.
Mm-hmm. He is like in the art world also, so I guess it makes sense because he was working the auction where Ronan's suit was.
Sure. Yeah.
But we meet him before that's a plot.
Okay.
And then that's also the same, like when the auction is happening, I think that's like late in the season when that finally happens, and that's when we see Kingpin again.
Okay.
So it all stitches together. Yeah. And like that's why I'm totally fine at this stage with the Yusuf Khan thing because he's great. He's great.
He is great. I have like no issue with him just being.
I am disappointed that we didn't see Jamil and see Kamala because she's wonderful.
Yeah.
And like you said, like Miss Marvel, one of the probably top 5 Marvel shows for me. And there's not even probably, it's definitely top 5 Marvel shows for me. And she is like, if she wasn't in the Marvels, it would have been a worse movie.
Yeah.
I think. Not that I think it was a terrible movie or anything. I'm not judging that movie. It was fine.
No, but like having her family in it specifically.
She was and the rest of it is that movie. The problem with that movie is that it jumps from like being funny and silly to like really dour and
serious,
like genocidal.
Yeah.
All over if it was just the dark genocide stuff and Kamala wasn't there to like lift it. It would have been tough.
I agree.
So anyway, seeing like these are the characters that like can show up more often when it's like when we say like why haven't we seen Maria Hill more? Obviously now we know why aren't we seeing more of Monica Rambeau?
Yeah.
Like people like that are like sidey. Yeah. Like Yusuf is like maybe like a tier below where I'd want to see more people show up. It's like seeing Yelena in Hawkeye. You know, she's someone who's going to be important another time.
Again, if Bucky is a congressman.
Yeah.
I know Sebastian Stan is busy.
He showed up in that fucking terrible.
Oh, so bad. But that's just because of like the connection with Sam. So it's like
they needed to cross one movie off of his contract.
But you can't get him on like a news green screen where he's actually, you can't get Sebastian
Put him in
Stan
front of a podium
in a recording studio one day. Like, you're killing me.
Yeah. So that's all I mean, is like seeing anybody is nice.
Yeah.
So like those two characters, especially because it's two characters that were introduced in two of my favorite shows that Marvel put together. It means they're looking at, in my opinion, the right stuff and also doing the right thing and
branching,
connecting these shows.
What would be great is if we got She-Hulk in here.
Yes.
But now Matt's got another girlfriend, so it's just like a one-nighter with Jen.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he's...
I mean, that's in California too, so...
Yeah, but I feel like there's like ample opportunity for him to fumble
the therapist?
Yeah, because absolutely. First I thought...
She has asked if he can secure her an interview with Frank Castle.
Yeah. JenniferLawrence.gif. Yeah, okay.
Literally incredible. And she's like, oh, do you think it's a bad idea? And he goes, no, I think it's actually a really great idea. I'm just not sure I can make it happen.
Yeah, it was really like in Severance. It's like, how are you doing? Oh my God, so good. Oh my God, so good. No, but there's that now.
Like, if anybody needs to talk to a therapist, it's Frank, for sure.
Oh yeah, it'd be the right. Yeah, that's not why she wants to meet with him. Like, so I thought that he was going to fumble her because he was going to wind up pressing her. He was going to find out that she was seeing Kingpin and Vanessa.
Yeah.
And he was going to press her, and she's a professional, and she was going to just say no, and he was going to become so obsessed that he would ruin it. Now I think that because she's going to press him about his vigilante stuff, he's going to like disassociate that in a way so that he doesn't tell her that he's Daredevil.
Oh,
but his like disinterest is going to like push her away, whatever.
I think that's too deep. I think it's going to be the exact same thing that happened with Karen, is that he's going to like miss a date one too many times or something.
Oh, sure.
And not have an explanation. And she's going to be like, you're lying to me. You're not telling me the truth. Mm-hmm. And then because it's so boring.
Yeah.
Especially because you would imagine if he was like, I'm Daredevil, do you want to interview me?
Yeah.
She'd be like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So regardless, the thing I was saying earlier about Kingpin is that he gets like, this is in the second episode, the one, Excessive Force. He gets like shot down by all the rich people at the party because they don't trust him because of his past.
Yeah.
And so they're like, yeah, we can't.
Would that was real and believable.
They're like, we can't really be seen like in conjunction with each other. So like, absolutely not. So he gets shot down so hard that then he goes like so hard the other way that he basically gathers up like, dossier is not the right word, like the files of all of the worst cops in the city, and is like, I make to the chief or the captain, commissioner, and is like, I'm putting
the
together
one that was going to retire, notably.
He's like, I'm putting together this task force of the worst cops in New York City to hunt down all the vigilantes, and I'm just like, and the one guy apparently, again, it's like, you shouldn't be drug dealing to 11-year-olds, but like, if you are drug dealing to 11-year-olds, you also shouldn't be beaten to death by a cop. You can't beat people.
I agree. Like by a cop is the part.
Yes.
Like that should have been like, if you're a cop and you see that happening and you're at least in some kind of good standing in your precinct or whatever, that is enough to initiate like a proper investigation. You follow this guy one location probably and you find more drugs or whatever.
The other thing too is he was like, his excuse for beating him was he just denied everything, and I was like, that's what they do. Take him back to the precinct to get him to turn on whoever's higher up than him. Like this is police work 101, and I have never been to the academy. So like, it's crazy. And so basically that's what he's got going forward now, is this like task force.
We should mention that the impetus of creating the task force in the first place was that the murals. The sanitation guy who Matt met.
He was in the bank. I liked that too. I heard him talking.
It was nice. It was again like little character things, like little stitched things. It was really nice.
I heard him talking in the second episode, and I was like, is that the same? I was like, that's actually crazy, and it's the same guy.
I thought he was going there. Like in my head before I thought about it, he knew more than I remember that he did. Like I thought he knew that Matt kind of saved the day and was gonna like go to the mayor and be like, "There's this guy was there and he did."
No, because actually at the end he basically like told the cop, because the cop was trying to keep Matt in the bank, and he was like, he was with us. He was a hostage.
But he was like just with them.
Well,
He like they didn't specifically see him like beat the ass at anybody.
I will say, just for a minute, to go back to the bank heist episode, I love when Matt is such a bitch.
He's
like,
such a bitch.
He's such a bitch. And I know I said it before because I compared him to like book 5 Harry Potter.
Sure.
He's just so sassy when he's like still standing up. When they come back and they're all supposed to be on the ground, he's like, I have to go. And they're like, you should have taken your chance and he's like, no, to the bathroom. Like, he's just like such an asshole. We also didn't talk about how the girl was involved with the heist. She had the diamond. Like,
she had the bag. He handed it off to her. Yeah, they just had someone, a plant in there to be. They had their whole thing. This plan B was exactly what played out.
Yeah.
He switched into a costume. I don't know why.
A cop uniform.
Into a cop outfit. Sorry. I think the cops threw the smoke.
Yeah.
That didn't make sense to me. I don't know why they would have done that.
To obscure where they are?
Yeah, but the obscures where
I don't know.
Where the robbers are too. If the robbers did it so that the one guy could get away.
If I know one thing about the cops in New York in the Marvel universe, it's that they're deeply stupid.
They're not good at their jobs.
They're not good at their jobs at all.
But yeah, she gets out with the fake the bag of the butterscotch in it.
Right. Okay.
And then we never hear from her again, which is totally fine. That doesn't bother me. I didn't need Daredevil to go beat the shit out of her.
No, of course not. Jesus. So then back to the thing. The reason that Fisk is doing this is because all the murals I talked about last week, which I think are really, really cool, are apparently the work of this serial killer, Muse, who is mixing in the blood of his victims with the paint. Bold move to do that with white paint. The big white tiger one is like mostly white paint.
Yeah.
Regardless, he's mixing in the blood.
I think I don't think he's doing the white tiger ones. I think he's just doing all the weird
the
Kingpin ones. Especially that huge one where it was him like kissing the ass.
It's really funny. So he's mixing the blood into the paint and then he's sealing it with an epoxy. So the sanitation guy is like, I literally can't get it off.
It's like, I can't even sandblast it off.
Yeah, like it will not come off the buildings.
I bet before the end of this season, that building specifically is coming down.
Blown up.
Yeah.
I liked that quite a lot, that he came back in the first place and that it was like, that this is finally like part of the season. But again, when I was talking to Trevor, I was like, it's absolutely bonkers to me that we aren't actually getting plot with the serial killer until episode 6 of 9.
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts. Like, I don't compute.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've been trying to do a lot of setup. And like, I think for now, Muse is probably handled for the rest of this season.
Oh.
I think we probably won't. I think they will bring him back at maybe the end of episode 9.
Sure.
To like be like, oh, he's still around. But I think probably we are now going to focus quite a bit more on the vigilante task force being, bad at their job and finding like actual like people doing good versus Muse, who like obviously he just Fisk used the Muse paintings to set up this task force and then made it an anti-vigilante task force, not an anti-serial killer task force. You know what I mean? He'd use that as an excuse to set up a task force.
I don't think he's trying to like sort out the good ones from the bad ones.
No, that's what I mean.
Going.
Well, that's what I mean.
Okay.
Like all they know about Muse is that he's a serial killer and a painter. Okay. They don't know
that he's
anything. He's wearing a mask or anything.
Well, no, because Trevor said the same thing, but I swear that Fisk called him a vigilante.
Maybe maybe he's just mumped him in because he's doing something against him. I don't know.
Well, the other thing too is that I am 100% sure it's that boy that went to go see Heather. 100%.
Oh, sure.
There's no reason for him to have been credited in every episode.
Yeah, and to like get highlighted in that way just to like disappear. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's for sure. I don't know. Also, my only like half rebuttal to that is like, I don't think that kid would have put up a fight against Daredevil without some sort of external interference, like some enhancements or whatever.
Well, it's also possible he has like some sort of psychotic break or something.
Well, yeah, but having a psychotic break doesn't turn you into like a guy who can fight and like take hits. He was doing like real roundhouse kicks to the face of Daredevil and landing him, because there was a moment where Daredevil's just like walking towards him and like you see him get hit in like flashes of subway, and there's like just his face is just like blood shooting out.
Yeah. So Angela goes to see Matt.
Yeah.
And she's like, my uncle had to have been looking for something.
She said he was.
He was on to something. Yeah. I know he was. And Matt was like...
Because she had a location, too.
Yeah.
She gave him that Track 61 location.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah.
But Matt was basically like, I can't really do anything. And she got really mad about it.
Yeah. It was very like, I've tried nothing and I'm all out of ideas.
Yeah.
You tried one thing, but she was like, fine, blind lawyer. You're not going to do anything. I'm going to go down into the old subsystem of New York and see if I can find something that's disappearing all of these people. Like, what a thought for a teenager.
What a weird thing to do. Also, he did we watched him murder 2 girls that were just like into him in like a Banksy way.
Yep.
And he posed them in front of his most recent. Also, there was like upwards of 35 victims or 60 victims.
Mm-hmm.
That's so many victims. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So anyway, Angela does go down there. Matt gets a call from Soledad and is like, I don't know where she is. She's never been like this. And he also gave her crap for skipping school. And she was like, I have 104 with the curve in English.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it. Like, ridiculous.
Yeah.
So she goes down there and then she gets taken. Like, and it's all the way up through. He's got her drugged and he's got that friggin' creepy ass thing in her femoral artery. And it is just sucking the blood right out of her. And I was like shocked she was still alive at the end, but I would have been furious if she died.
He was like, maybe this is just like my lack of knowledge as in like, you know,
forensics
health, doctoral abilities. He like took the blood out of her. Right. So Matt doing essentially CPR on her. It doesn't register to me that like that brings her back. Maybe he's keeping what little blood is still in her moving, and that's enough.
I don't think it got all the way, because when Matt got down there, like in between bouts of their fighting, I think he turned it off. So I don't think it was still removing.
There wasn't
blood.
Like a close up of the hands or anything. He just kind of stood there like an idiot. Maybe they needed a. That's what I mean. I was like, this is not hard. Just pull it out of her, Chief.
No.
I guess if it's in her
gushing
artery.
blood from your femoral artery.
Yeah, well, he took it out of her eventually.
Kill you harder, faster.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it was not in her at the end, so he found a way to take it out of her without that happening.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he did.
I've seen Black Hawk Down. It's disgusting. Oh, she's also so tiny. So like
she's very tiny because he's not that tall. He's like a foot taller than her.
Yeah, and so I don't think. Because you actually do, depending on how big you are, you have more or less blood in your body. Like 8 pints or whatever is like, or quarts, I don't know, is quarts is like an average. Mm-hmm. So I don't think she has, I don't think she has that
the same
much, as much blood.
She was not an efficient take for Muse, that's for sure. She's like, well, I'll paint a little one with this girl's blood.
I don't. Well, apparently he's mixing them. Of the victims together. There's like 5 per mural or something crazy. Mm-hmm. We also did get Detective Angie Kim back.
Yep.
In the heist specifically, which we were both excited about that.
She is in episode 6 as well. She's in the room when they're explaining.
Yes, yeah. And the like BB on the street thing, they were just like asking about vigilantes, and everybody is just very pro vigilante except for Fisk, which is again, it's like so. I feel like he's not, because now she's betrayed him as well, I feel like he's not taking BB's advice to heart when she was like, if you lose the cops, you lose the city. And I'm like, sure, you've got this task force on this, but like also if the task force, because those are all the, like the commissioner was like, oh, all of the bad apples in the bunch? Great. I don't think they're gonna just go after vigilantes. I think it's going to be like a just anybody kind of thing. So I think you're going to lose the city because of the cops, maybe.
Yeah, you're correct. I think that the task force is also a simple way for them to get Frank back into the picture pretty easily, because they're all of the like Punisher tattoo guys.
Yeah.
And I think probably there will be something that triggers triggers him to
just want him to come and shoot them all.
I think he probably will.
Yeah.
There probably will be one of those like all of them are in one building. I like those odds kind of thing. And
sure.
he goes in there and kills them all.
I mean, again, when Fisk had him cornered in prison in season 1 of The Punisher, he killed like, or maybe it was season 2 of Daredevil, he killed like 30 people in the prison hallway, and just like, he can do it. He can definitely do it.
Yeah.
What was weird to me in the heist episode is that apparently Matt and Kirsten are not doing great. They like need cash flow. And so he was like at the bank for a loan, which they got denied. And I'm just like, their practice looks so nice and kind of like sleek and stuff that I was like, oh, good. Matt's not having money troubles anymore, because all 3 seasons of Daredevil, the original
like
Daredevil,
a basement kind of.
It's like a little crappy thing.
Yeah.
But I just was sort of like, oh great, no more money troubles. But apparently he's still just as having crazy money troubles. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's mostly it for me.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that these were easily the 2 best episodes of the season.
Yeah.
They, again, not to like discount the first 4 at all. I made my opinions known that I thought they were mostly fine and very like peace movie. I think at one point I said like episode 3 felt like they were taking pieces out, and episode 4 felt like they were putting pieces in.
Yeah. And
now it feels like they've put the pieces in and we're moving forward. We have Muse in place, but maybe with that task force, I think is going to be a bigger piece.
Yeah.
Matt is back to his
he's in
his
he finally is in the costume.
Yeah, he put his pajamas back on and then
put on his real uniform
and then
outfit.
There's a real bad CG sequence of him running across the rooftops, which I hate.
They're not,
just
it's
like
not great.
Film him running somewhere, guys. It'll be fine if it's.
I think my biggest complaint is that it's just like, and again, I want the Hector Ayala stuff to have happened. Like that was good, and I liked that guy.
Well, I
wanted them to honor that, obviously, but also I think waiting till there's 3 episodes left is sort of nutballs to like introduce your main story.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They needed to introduce Hector and then find a way, because he passed away, to pass the mantle to Angela.
Which I still think is probably going to happen.
It will, yeah. That's why they brought her back in. Otherwise, they would have not bothered. They could have easily left her like completely out of like this
the whole thing.
New portion of the show, but that's clearly something that they like want to include going forward. So I really liked these 2 episodes. Oh, the one thing I was going to mention, we were talking about Fisk beating up Adam, is I thought for sure he was adding a new blood splatter to his drywall painting. It's like the blood splatter from when he killed his dad. That's on that chunk of drywall that he has hanging. That's like real deep cut stuff, but I thought he was just going to add another one.
I didn't know that, because I thought the drywall was. I thought it was only related to the painting that he bought from Vanessa in season 1. I don't think that's drywall. I think that's a painting. Is there drywall somewhere with blood on it? He
had it in that in the room where he had Adam. Oh, there's a big paint like framed thing, and I think it's the drywall from his house or his apartment and there's a big.
That's crazy.
It looks like a blood splatter to me. Maybe I'm making that up because I wanted that like
full circle. Well, maybe it also could be. There could be a blood splatter on Whitebird in a blizzard, or Rabbit in a blizzard, or Rabbit in a snowstorm, whatever it's called. Sure. Whitebird in a blizzard is a really bad movie with Eva Green and Shailene Woodley.
Isn't it Greg Haraki?
I can't remember. Maybe, yeah. Regardless, he had that painting was a whole thing, because every time he looked at it, he like saw.
Maybe it reminded him
of it, but I don't remember now if he got blood on it in the like climax of season 3.
Yeah, I don't either. I obviously, because I didn't watch season 3.
Yeah, but we'll see. Either way.
But otherwise, yeah, I like that we are like moving forward at like a pretty good pace. Now we have like a pretty good idea of where everyone's at. Still, like you said, hazy on Kingpin, or on Fisk, I guess I should say. He's still finding like ways to Kingpin out.
The thing that bothers me is that it's like from scene to scene, it feels like his motivations are completely changed. So it's like depending on what person is across from him, he's acting like his actions are totally at odds with each other.
I think it's meant to have been. I think we've gotten to this point naturally. is what I'm saying. Like, I think that, like, leading up till now, not till now, but over time, over the 6 episodes, he thought that, like, being mayor was the right way to mold the city in his image, maybe.
Okay.
Like he was trying to do before, but as like a criminal empire, you only can do so much without an opposition of like police and vigilantism and whatever. But if he can, then, like, you know, that woman at the dinner brought up that he made a lot of his money through the port, and now he's redoing the port. So now that's not really, like, the people are seeing, like, through that a little bit.
Yeah, because she was like, you're just trying to do the same things you were doing before.
Yeah,
You're,
to, like, line your pockets and your friends and whatever. Yeah, that makes total sense to me. So, like, I think that he, after Echo and being shot, did want to make a change and come back and, like, settle with Vanessa a bit more and still have a way to, like, kind of push the city in a direction that he wants it. And he's, like, been seeing opposition to that, and now he's seeing more and more of it. So he is, like, that's why he was like, oh, I can just go kick the shit out of Adam. I can kind of push Luca a little bit to make him pay more money, like, and still have my hands on that criminal enterprise just a little bit. To me, it works because he's at this point almost wearing a mask on both sides. And then we see him kind of being his kingpin self
in the scene with Adam. Yeah.
So I'm with it. Like, I'm there.
These are certainly the 2 episodes I've enjoyed the most so far.
But yeah, big time.
They felt the most like the old one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and bringing in the 2 characters that we've seen before.
Yeah.
For me, I was just like, hell yeah, you guys actually watched the shows that were there.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
That's it for me.
Yep. Okay. Well, like and subscribe, and we will see you next week. Hopefully a little bit more on time.
Yep.
We've been busy this week. So.
Yay. Bye.